HOA Karens smashed picnic table. The fine was $300,000 and a public apology. The sun blazed over Willow Creek Park, its golden rays glinting off the freshly mowed grass. Families laughed, children chased kites, and the air hummed with the warmth of a perfect Saturday. At the heart of the park stood a beloved oak picnic table, carved with decades of initials and memories, a silent witness to countless gatherings. But today, that table lay in splinters, and Karen Mitchell, a 52-year-old HOA board member, stood at the center of the chaos, her face a mask of unyielding fury. Karen had always been a stickler for rules. Her pristine lawn, her perfectly trimmed hedges, and her unrelenting enforcement of HOA bylaws made her both feared and resented in Willow Creek. The park's picnic table, though, was her latest obsession. She deemed it unsightly, its weathered wood an affront to her vision of suburban perfection. For weeks, she'd petitioned to have it removed, but the community led by Sarah, a soft-spoken librarian, and her husband, Tom, a local firefighter, fought back. The table wasn't just wood. It was history. It was where proposals happened, where kids drew their first sketches, where old Mr. Jenkins shared war stories with anyone who'd listen. That morning, the tension boiled over. The community had organized a picnic to celebrate the table's survival, a defiant middle finger to Karen's campaign. Sarah had baked her famous lemon bars, Tom grilled burgers, and even shy 16-year-old Mia, who usually kept to herself, brought a playlist to liven the mood. The park buzzed with unity until Karen arrived. She stormed in, her heels clicking like gunshots on the pavement. In her hand was a sledgehammer, borrowed from her garage, its weight a promise of destruction. "This eyesore ends today," she shouted, her voice slicing through the laughter. Before anyone could react, she swung. The first blow cracked the table's center, sending splinters flying. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Tom stepped forward, hands raised, trying to reason. "Karen, stop. This is our park." But her eyes were wild, unreachable. Another swing, and the table groaned, collapsing into jagged pieces. Sarah clutched Mia, who was filming the chaos on her phone, her hands trembling. Mr. Jenkins, leaning on his cane, muttered, "She's lost it." The crowd surged, shouting, pleading. But Karen was a force of nature, her rage a wildfire. It wasn't just about the table Anna Maria, it was about control, about her need to bend the world to her will. Then came the twist. Mia's video went live. The teenager, quiet but tech-savvy, streamed the meltdown to the neighborhood's social media group. Within minutes, hundreds were watching. Comments poured in. "She's unhinged. Save our table." But among the viewers was an unexpected figure, Lila, Karen's estranged sister, who'd moved away years ago after a falling out over, ironically, HOA disputes. Lila, now a lawyer, saw the video and drove straight to Willow Creek. By the time Lila arrived, the police were there, and Karen was handcuffed, still clutching the sledgehammer like a trophy. The crowd was a mix of fury and sorrow, staring at the wreckage of their table. Lila, her face a mix of pity and resolve, approached Sarah. "I'm sorry for her," she said softly, "but this has to stop." Lila revealed something no one expected. Karen had been spiraling for years, her obsession with control masking deep insecurities from a childhood of chaos. Lila had tried to help her, but Karen pushed everyone away. Now, Lila offered to represent the community pro bono, ensuring justice for the park. The legal fallout was swift and brutal. The table, a registered community landmark, carried a $300,000 replacement cost due to its historical value. The judge, unimpressed by Karen's tearful defense, ordered the fine and a public apology to be delivered at the next town hall. Karen's HOA reign was over, her reputation shattered. The apology came, stilted and hollow, as she stood before a packed room, her voice barely above a whisper. "I thought I was protecting our standards," she said, but the crowd's silence was deafening. The park healed slowly. A new table was built, funded by donations, its wood carved with fresh initials but missing the old magic. Sarah and Tom organized another picnic, but the mood was bittersweet. Mia, now a local hero for her quick thinking, spoke up at the event. "It's not just about a table," she said, her voice steady. "It's about what we stand for: community, not control." Mr. Jenkins nodded, wiping a tear. Lila stayed in town, reconnecting with neighbors and vowing to keep the park safe. Yet the victory felt hollow. Karen, once a formidable force, was now a ghost in Willow Creek, her house dark, her lawn unkempt. Some pitied her, others despised her, but all felt the weight of her fall. The table's destruction had exposed not just her flaws but the community's fragility, how one person's obsession could fracture a shared space. In the end, the story wasn't about a table or a fine. It was about the cost of division, the pain of unchecked anger, and the fragile threads that hold a community together. Karen's rage had smashed more than wood. It had broken trust, forcing Willow Creek to rebuild not just a table but its soul. What do you think? Where does justice lie in this clash of control and community?